All right. So I am showing it's time, so let's go ahead and get started and make your way into that comfortable seated position just for a couple of minutes, just to take a moment, twist around, move around a little bit, and just give yourself these couple of minutes here to kind of bring your focus, bring your awareness onto your mat, into this time and space. Take a moment to feel the air. We have gotten cold here in Central Texas. A cool front has made its way down to us. So I know many of you are even starting to get snow and pretty chilly weather. So maybe take a moment and you might feel a little bit of coolness in your house, or maybe you feel the heat in your house. Just notice the feel on your skin. Notice the feel of the clothes on your back. And bringing your awareness into your eyes, softening around the eyes. Trying to release any tension in the jaw, making sure you're not clenching your teeth. And notice your breath. Your inhale and exhale. And as you focus on your inhale and exhale, begin to bring your awareness into your glutes, into your sits bones, connected into the earth, and lengthening up through the spine. Feel yourself pull tall through the crown of the head, engaging those shoulder blades. So think about your shoulder blades in the upper part of your back, pulling them in and together. So feel the muscles right between the shoulder blades contract and your chest opens. If your palms were facing down on your lap, maybe your palms rotate up as your shoulders externally rotate. Pull the navel into the spine and lift the pelvic floor muscles. So take a moment here, feeling that strength through your body. You wouldn't want to probably sitting here for a very long period of time. You would start to feel a little bit fatigued. We're very engaged. On our inhale, we'll bring the palms of our hands together. Try to keep that engagement as you lightly tap your thumbs towards your heart. Setting an intention for yourself, perhaps for this practice, perhaps for your evening, or maybe even setting up that intention for tomorrow. How are you going to live your life? Where is going to be your focus? Once you're ready, allow that chin to bow towards your chest. Let your eyes flutter open. Pause for a moment, letting the eyes adjust to the light. Then on our inhale, begin to reach those arms up towards the sky, palms together, lift the palms upward. Nice big stretch up. Take an inhale. As we exhale, rotate your belly a little bit to the right. So feel that little twist to the right. Take one more inhale, and on your exhale, let your left hand come down to that right quad and maybe twist a little bit more, looking over your right shoulder. Take an inhale. As you exhale, allow yourself to untwist towards the center. Inhale, arms up, open the palms to the sky. And exhale, twist over to the left, trying to sit nice and tall. Take an inhale. On the exhale, right hand to that left quad. Maybe twist a little deeper, looking over the left shoulder. Take your inhale. And on your exhale, release center. On our inhale, we'll make our way up to all fours. Well, welcome, Erin. Welcome, Jan. Welcome, Emily. Oh, I love it, Scarlett. You got your family doing it with you. Bring those wrists underneath your elbows, underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. On your inhale, let that belly drop down towards the floor. Lift it open through the heart, cow. And on the exhale, pull that navel into the spine. Round the back up. Tuck the chin to your chest, cat. And let's repeat that several times. Drop the belly, lift the head, cow. and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Welcome, Bridget, and exhale, cat. A few more times here, feeling that movement through your spine. Enjoy it, right? Move in a way that feels good to you. Don't feel pressured to necessarily move a specific way. Enjoy that movement. One more time, round up through your cat. Tuck that chin, press the palms into the floor, pause there. And then on your next inhale, let that belly drop, lift and open the heart, cow, pause there. Feel that arch, beautiful. And then just make yourself way into neutral spine. On our inhale, we'll take our left leg, lengthen that left leg out long. Try to flex the left foot and think about that left knee, left toes facing down, hips both facing towards the floor. So if our hip bones were headlights, they're shining on the floor. On the inhale, we'll reach that right hand, palm faces down, pull the fingers and the heel away from each other. Feel that strength through that body and that stretch, that lengthening. Welcome, Amanda. Welcome, KR. Nice. Take the inhale. On the exhale, we'll release the right hand, point the left toe, swing that left foot over to the left side of our body, or the right side of our body. Press through that left hip, looking over that right shoulder. So really feeling that lengthening down the left side of the rib cage. Try to make from your ear, your left ear to your left hip bone, create as much space and length as you can. Take an inhale. On our exhale, let our torso come center. We're going to pull this left knee behind the right knee. Open the feet out wide and start to set back gently into the seated position. Now, depending on how tight my hips are, my right knee may come up. I may be able to stack it. I may need to lift it. If you need to lift it, no worries. Hug it into your chest and pull nice and tall. If it stacks and that feels good to you, you can just let it stack there. And you can walk your hands out in front of you. So you have two options here, either hugging that right knee into your chest or walking those hands out in front. Doing some nice deep stretching into your hips. And then on our inhale, we'll slowly make our way up onto our knees any way that we need to, uncross the legs. And as we inhale, we'll reach the right leg long behind us, flex the foot. Headlights, hip bones facing down, right? Our tendency sometimes is to open it face down. Then reach that left arm long. We're lengthening. Try to pull the fingers away from the toes, pull the navel into the spine as you support that strength, that balance. We're going to get balancy tonight. Standing balances is where we're headed. Take the inhale. On the exhale, this left hand will come down, right foot will point, swing that right leg over to the left side. Press through the right hip and look over the left shoulder. Trying to create distance between your right ear and your right hip. On the inhale, allow that torso to come center. Let that right knee come behind the left knee. Separate your feet, create some space. Ease back into that seated position. Maybe the right knee comes up and the left knee comes up and we hug it in, or maybe it stacks. If it stacks, maybe you want to walk your hands forward. Taking a few breaths here. And on our inhale, we'll slowly make our way back up to all fours any way that works for us. Find those toes, curl them under and press back to downward facing dog. Once you get into your down dog, enjoy it for a moment. Lift and lower, walk out those heels, pedal out those feet. Really rolling up onto the toes. So we're gonna work towards some standing balance moves today. So our feet are very important. So starting to warm up our feet here. We're gonna get our feet nice and stretched, our ankles nice and stretched. From here, lifting both heels and then try to lower them down to the ground. Press that tailbone high to the sky as you come into downward facing dog. Let strength through the arms. Try to pull the crown of the head down towards your toes and activate those shoulder blades as they kind of pull. It's down your back, but it's really up in this upside down position. If you can, try to lift your toes off the ground. Even if it's just a tiny, tiny bit. Feel that activation. Then release the toes to the ground. Take your left knee and start to let your left knee bend. So I'm trying to keep both my heels as close to the ground as I can, but I'm bending this left knee a little bit. So as this left knee bends, I get a deeper stretch in that right calf. And then just switch that out, bend the right knee, straighten through the left. If the heel lifts on the right leg a little bit, that's okay. We're trying to press it down. Beautiful, right there. Pressing back into that downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna come forward into our plank. You can step those feet back a little bit if they need to. Pull the shoulder blades down the back, pull the navel into the spine. You can drop the knees anytime, just get a little strength work through the arms. Take an inhale. On our exhale, drop your knees if you like as you lower your body all the way down to the floor. Then inhale, pulling up through cobra. So it means those elbows stay hugged into the rib cage. Open the chest. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Lots of strength. Try to really kind of press into that pinky and first finger side of your hand. Beautiful. Take your inhale. Exhale, pull the belly into the spine, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. And then on our inhale, bend the knees, shift the gaze, walk the feet forward to your hands. Exhale, forward fold. So allow yourself to hang here upside down if that feels good to you. If not, you can always put your hands on your shins and lift halfway. Otherwise, you can just sway it out. Nice. And then bringing our torso center, just like we did earlier, we're going to bend this right knee, straighten the left. So right knee's going to bend, left leg's going to straighten, and lift my chest up halfway here. Leave my left hand or maybe fingertips on the ground or maybe onto my left shin. Reach my right arm up. So I'm twisting first towards my bent right knee. Take the inhale. Now the right hand's going to come down and I'm going to twist towards my straightened left leg. Then we get that little bit deeper stretch there down the outside of the left leg. Take the inhale. On the exhale, come down. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. First, we're going to twist to the left towards the bent knee. Right? Not as deep of a stretch in the legs on this one, but still getting the twist. And then the left hand comes down, twist towards that straight right knee. There, we get that deep stretch down that IT band. Probably twist a little more here. Beautiful. Take the inhale. On the exhale, allow the knees to bend, maybe even bend a little bit more. Lift that chest up halfway and inhale, rise all the way up to the top. And exhale, hands to our heart. So working on some balancing poses here. Think about bringing the weight into, I'm going to raise my camera up a little bit. Bring the weight into your left foot. So weight's going to come into the left foot. Think about taking your toes and gripping. Hold on to the ground a little bit with your left foot. We're going to bring this right knee up. Flex the right leg or flex the right foot. Maybe bring the arms up in the air. Just kind of some balancing poses here. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a little twisting. First, we're going to twist to the left. So that right arm comes forward. Right? Anytime you need to tap out of it, tap out of it. Let that left arm drop down, comes up. Ooh, reclaim your balance. And then right arm's going to come back, twisting to the right. It's okay if you lose it, I just did. And then right arm drops down, comes up center. Exhale, drop the right foot as you big forward fold down. We'll get that other side in a moment. Inhale, lift that chest halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into that plank. Pause here, nice strong plank. My knees could be up or down. Take an inhale on the exhale, elbows hug in towards you. Lower your body towards the floor. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Those elbows hug the rib cage. Open the chest. Big chest opener here, lifting the heart. Take the inhale. On the exhale, pull the navel into the spine, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Press back into that down dog. Try to lift your toes up off the ground for a second if you can. Beautiful. Then lowering the toes, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze towards the thumbs, walk or step the feet up to the hands. Inhale, lift that chest halfway. Exhale, sink those glutes all the way down. We're going to bring it into a chair here, raising the hands up, chair pose. A little bit of strength. Gorgeous, my friends. Welcome, Heather. On our inhale, rise it up. And on our exhale, lower our hands to our heart. A little balance practice here. So coming into the right foot, grip the ground with your right toes. Left knee comes up. Just working this little bit of balance today. Arms come up. Right arm's going to move first. We're going to twist to the right. So right arm comes behind us. Left arm comes in front. You can see, man, my balance is like off on this side. That's okay. That right arm will drop down. It'll circle its way back up. Trying to hold that balance through the movement. And then bring that left arm behind you. Right arm comes front. Your balance is better than mine this evening. That left arm comes down, circles around. Drop the feet, big exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into that plank position. Take your inhale. On your exhale, chaturanga your way down. On your inhale, lift up into that cobra. We're going to pause here. Hug those elbows into the rib cage. Lift and open the chest. Stretch through the belly. Now bring your awareness into your left hip. Press your left hip down towards the floor, letting that right hip lift up, looking over your right shoulder. The more we open this right hip and press that left hip down, we get a deep stretch into our left hip flexor. Couple breaths here. And then come center. Press into the right hip, lift the left, looking over that left shoulder. Press down through the right hip. It's a twisted cobra. Come center. Pull the belly into the spine, step back into a child's pose. Reach those hands forward, giving that wrist a little bit of a break after really having to push through them there for a moment. Welcome, Kelsey. Welcome, Jennifer. On our inhale, pulling up to all fours, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale the right leg. Reach it high to the sky.
Start to let that right hip come on top of the left. Now you could do this on your knees too if you have any issues with your wrist or whatever reason. And then I'm going to let this right knee just bend. So I'm pressing my left hip under me. Again, I'm getting a deep opening in that hip flexor while I'm getting some strength work in my upper body. So I could be here on my knees, opening through this lower torso. Then I'm going to start to close that leg, and I'm going to step this right foot through to my hands. Stepping through, dropping my back left knee. Now that stretch comes into the left hip flexor. Pull and lift up through the torso. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe I want to stay here with my hands on the floor or on a yoga block maybe, where I feel good. I can bring my hands all the way up onto that right quad, pressing that left hip bone towards the ground. If I want a little bit more, I could bring that left arm up towards that left ear. Deepening that stretch. Beautiful. Take the inhale. On the exhale, this left hand comes down, this right hand comes down. Curl your left toes under, lift up. Now I'm going to step my left foot forward about a foot so that I have less of a distance. And I'm going to start to press into both heels, pressing back through both legs, straightening both legs. Think about pushing this right hip back, and your left hip will twist forward just a little bit. Pull the crown of your head forward, right? So I've got this nice long spine. And then if I like from here, I could try to lay my chest down towards my quad, and then eventually let my head fold into pyramid. So my hands could be on the ground. I could have them up on yoga blocks. They could be on a bench or a chair if I need a little bit more, the floor is kind of far away. But now I'm getting that deep stretch down the back of that right leg into our pyramid pose. And then I'm going to inhale my chest halfway. I'm going to step the right foot back farther than the left, and then step the left foot back to meet the right and press into that downward facing dog. Then from here, inhale the left leg. So left leg rises, left hip starts to come on top of the right, that left knee bends, right? And I'm really trying to press my right hip under me. So I'm getting all this twistiness. My left hand is almost coming up off the ground, right? We could bring it up, we could flip the dog. I could be down on my right knee. And then as I inhale, I close that left leg high to the sky. And then I start to step or walk that left leg through to my hands. Let the right leg slide back into this low, deep lunge. Drop the right knee. Lengthen up through the torso. Stay right here if I like, or maybe bring the hands up to the knee. Deep stretch. So really getting some good stretches, but they're a little bit more power stretch than say yin. Yin is more passive. This is more active. If I want a little bit more, raise that right arm up. Opening that chest. Really lifting through, lengthening through that hip flexor. Try to relax the shoulder blades down the back. Take the inhale. On the exhale, right hand comes down, left hand comes down, curl the back toes under. So I'm going to step that right foot forward about a foot, then pressing into both heels. So press both heels down towards the ground. Think about pulling that left hip socket back. My right hip socket comes forward just a little bit. I'm lining that SI joint. Lengthen the crown of the head forward, kind of tabletop position. And then if I like, folding that chest down, bringing the nose down towards the shin. Take a couple of breaths in this deep pyramid pose. Bringing in the little bit theme of Halloween, haunted house pose. So if you've got some young VFitters in your house tomorrow, Kid Yoga Fusion, Halloween themed. It is at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. No, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. On our inhale, lift that chest up. We're going to step this left leg farther back than the right, and then let the right leg come back to join it into that downward facing dog. Drive that tailbone high to the sky. Then on our inhale, we're going to bring this right leg forward, coming into pigeon. So that right leg, that shin's going to come across the front of our mat. Reach that left leg long behind me. Take an inhale, and then on my exhale, fold forward. I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see me a little better. But allow yourself to rest here in pigeon for a good solid minute on this side. So if you are able to stick around for yin, we have about 4 minutes left here in beginning yoga. And then we'll be transitioning even into longer, more passive stretches. So as you're in pigeon, if you find yourself kind of pressing into that right hip, try to pull up off the right hip a little bit so that your shoulders are in a straight line. So if we took a line from our shoulders to our hips, those lines would be parallel and they wouldn't be angled. And that deep stretch into our right hip. No more breaths here. However this pose feels best to you. And on our inhale, starting to walk our hands in towards our legs, lifting our chest. Get a little bit deeper stretch through that back left hip flexor by bending the left knee. Point the toe up. Now this is a perfect position to stay. You don't need to take it anywhere else, but if you would like, we're going to twist the bind. So left hand's going to stay down. Right hand's going to reach forward. Twist the right hand towards that back left foot, maybe gently pulling it in. As you pull in though, we want to think about pulling the left heel towards the left glute. So we're trying to avoid pulling it over to the right. We want to pull it into the left. So it really brings a nice twist through the upper body. Take the inhale. On the exhale, curling those left toes under, press the toes into the ground, press that downward facing dog. And then as we step forward, bringing that left leg forward, crossing that shin across your mat, reach that right leg long behind you. Allowing yourself to come down into your pigeon, lift up off of that left hip. Shoulders straight line in front of the hip bone. Take a few breaths here. We're going to get some more stretches into the hips, the legs, the back. I did have some requests in yin for that, so that sounds good to you. Even if you're not signed up, feel free to stick around. On our inhale, we'll gently lift, opening the chest, bending that right knee. I can stay right here, or if I'm going to bind, right, we're twisting it today. We don't always twist it, so the left hand will reach back, but try not to pull over to the left. So what we're doing is really working on opening that left shoulder. Maybe I don't even pull in really. Maybe I just kind of connect. Maybe I don't even connect. All of it is opening the hip. Right there. And then on the exhale, releasing. And then we'll set, coming up into that seated position. If you are finished this evening, if this is the end of the road for you, please give yourself permission to lie on your back for 2 to 5 minutes. Take a little shavasana. If you are sticking around for yin or for part of yin, you can go ahead and stay seated if you like. Grab a drink. I'm going to turn off. I did record beginning yoga, so I want to end that.
And we will transition into yin.